So have you ever heard the phrase lipstick on a pig? Well, today I'm going to get into why that phrase really comes into play, especially in real estate. That's just one of the 5 things that I'm going to discuss, especially when you're looking for a home. Does that sound good? All right, great. So let's just get right into it. I'm Bob Dzienis with Coldwell Banker here in Northern New Jersey. Thanks so much for watching and tuning in. I really appreciate it. Listen, if you like what you see today, if you like any of my other videos as well, please just consider giving me a thumbs up, but also subscribe to the channel because when you do, it really just helps me grow the channel and provide more content, so I'd really appreciate it. So today what I want to talk about are 5 specific things that you really should be looking for. Actually, there's a lot more that you could be looking for. So in fact, that just gives me an idea. I think I might do some more videos on this topic, but today I want to talk about 5 specific things that you should be looking for when you're purchasing a home. And listen, I totally get it. I mean, buying a house is really exciting and you're just bowled over by the beautiful photos that you see online on the Zillows and all of those places that maybe you look for houses. But don't be fooled by some of those things that you might see in photos or videos. Today, I just want to give you these 5 specific things, 5 specific tips just to keep in mind. Keep an open mind as you're going through a home so you're aware of these situations. Okay, so the first thing I want you guys to consider is getting the most updated listing status that you can. And here's why, because I have a ton of buyers, they will reach out to me and say, oh, I saw this home on Zillow, or hey, I saw this on Redfin. Can we go look at this house today? And of course, I'm happy to show them the house, but here's the thing. If I don't go into the multiple listing service to see what the status is, it might already have an offer, or maybe it's under contract. The thing with these websites like your Zillows and Redfins and Realtor.coms or Smoke Signals, just kidding, whatever you use to search for homes, those websites don't always get all of the, let's say, most updated information. The best way to get the most updated information is work with a realtor you trust. And by the way, if you're looking here in Northern New Jersey, here's my information. So search however you like to search. If you like Zillow, you like Redfin, they're very, very robust platforms, totally makes sense, but it might not have the correct status. So talk to your realtor, see if they can do some digging in the MLS for you, because 80% of the time, it seems, most of these homes might already have an offer, or they're just waiting for a best and final because this market is still so crazy. So that might be a consideration too. All right, the second thing I want you to look for when you're looking for a home is just look for filtered photos. And come on guys, like we are in social media world now. So look at the Kardashians, you see what they do to their faces. We know that we can Instagram filter everything. Well, the same holds true with actual photos of homes. I hear it all the time. Buyers are like, whoa, this looks nothing like what I thought it would look like based on the photos. And listen, it's the agent's job to really sell the property and make it look as best as possible. Totally makes sense. But sometimes these photos do not look anything like what you see in person. I hear it all the time from buyers. And here's an example of myself, right? So here's an unfiltered photo, and let's call it the other one, the Instagram. So just look at my Instagram photo. I'm actually not on Instagram, but it's amazing what you can do with filters. I mean, those wrinkles are gone, the laugh lines are gone, the freckles on the forehead are gone. And I see this with realtor photos too. When you meet a realtor in person, sometimes it's like, wow, you look nothing like your photos. So I happen to use the photo with the laugh lines and the wrinkles in the forehead because that's who I am. So just like we can filter ourselves, these photos are filtered as well. So don't be surprised when you walk into a house and those photos don't do it justice. It looks a lot different perhaps when you see it in person. So don't just trust those filtered photos. You could tell when they're filtered, they have a shine to them, they have a color to them, like a vibrance to them. Make sure you go see those houses in person. It's just gonna give you the full perspective. All right, the third thing I want you guys to look at when you're looking for a home is look for water nearby. So what I want you to do is make Google Maps your friend, but also FEMA.org, FEMA.org. It's a great website. It's FEMA's website, which is all about flood zones. So what I do for my buyers is, as I'm looking at a property, I look to see, is the actual house near a body of water? If it is, especially here in New Jersey, there's a lot of places that have flood zones. And sometimes the listing might not say if a property's in a flood zone or not. So do yourself a favor, do a little due diligence. Don't just be fooled by those filtered photos of how beautiful the home might look. Take a look at the surroundings and see what's going on, but I want you to look for bodies of water. And if you go to FEMA.org, what you can do is type in the address of the home, and that'll give you perspective on where actually it sits, if it's in a flood zone or not. Because if you're getting a mortgage, you're gonna need flood insurance. And even if you're paying with cash, you're probably still gonna want flood insurance, especially if that home is in a flood zone. And I'll tell you this, flood zones are not fun. I actually live in a flood zone. If you wanna learn more about my scenario and my situation, take a look at this video over here. The thing with flood zones is, some people don't mind it and they'll pay the insurance, but I live in one and my house flooded 1.5 feet in our basement. It was not fun. I gotta be serious and gotta be honest, it was not fun. So again, use Google Maps and FEMA.org. Use those two websites to look up the property, see where it's located. All right, the fourth thing I want you to look for are these little things. You know what these are? These little air freshener things that you plug in. Not gonna name the name of the company who makes these things, but these sometimes can be a dead giveaway for something that's deeper inside the house, a deeper problem. Maybe there's mold in the house. Are they trying to cover something? And you guys know this, right? You live in your house however long, you rent wherever you rent. There's always a smell to a house. And then you kind of get used to it and you don't smell it anymore. Well, if you're a home buyer and you're walking into a home, you're gonna smell that home. And sometimes if you see not just one, but a few of these, could be a dead giveaway that they're trying to hide something. If there's stale air that's in the home, sometimes people have candles lit to make it smell better. Or they have these plug-in devices as well because maybe they're trying to just cover up. Maybe it's a mold smell, maybe it's a musty smell. So as you're walking around, if you see some of these plugged in the house that you're looking at, just get your senses going. Again, it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong necessarily, but just be keen to what's going on. Okay, and the last thing I want you guys to look for is lipstick on a pig. So what the heck does that mean? Basically, lipstick on a pig. I mean, let's talk about pigs a second, all right? Pigs are cute, especially the little ones with little curly cute tails. Totally adorable, but they get bigger, much bigger. And as they grow, they maybe are not as attractive, right? They're large, they're sloppy, they're a little dirty. Some people have them as pets. Okay, they seem affectionate, but it's a pig. So how the heck does this translate into real estate? So if you saw some of those beautiful photos, those filtered photos of that fantastic kitchen, it looks bright and light. The lipstick on a pig is basically referring to bad work inside of a home. The thing I want you guys to keep in mind is there's a lot of investors out there. They do flips, and sometimes when they do flips, they don't always do the best work. Look for just some inconsistencies in the construction itself. I'm always pointing to buyers to look at moldings, for instance, across the top of cabinets. Are they meeting correctly? If they're not meeting correctly, it just is a sign of some shoddy work potentially. Open and close the cabinets. Are the cabinets all aligned, for instance? Are the doors aligned? When you walk into a home that's been done well by a contractor, you can really feel the difference. You're not seeing, let's say, crooked backsplashes, or you're not seeing remnants of caulking, for instance, or grout lines that might be a little bit uneven. They took the time to really do the work well. The dead giveaway for lipstick on a pig in real estate is the kitchen. Look at the bathrooms. That's where you're gonna see it the most. Because the investors come in, they quickly just gut the kitchen, redo the kitchen, put new stuff in, quickly get it done, get whoever they get off the street perhaps to just make the work happen, and then they move on to their next property. Do you see nail holes? Like I see that a lot with moldings. They just put the nail holes into the actual cabinet itself for the moldings, and they don't try to caulk it and cover it up and then paint over it. They just leave the nail holes. It looks like crap. So as I'm going through a home like this and I'm working with a buyer, I'll say, this is a lipstick on a pig, it feels like. And the biggest concern that I have is, are they using valid contractors? Are they insured, for instance? And did they actually take out permits to actually do the work? But you can tell the work is a little shoddy. Maybe it wasn't done to the best of standards, but again, I would see that as a flag. And what I would do is go to the town and actually get an Oprah report. In fact, I have a video about this. It's an Open Public Records Act. What it means is you can actually go to a town to see if there's open and closed permits on any work that was done in a house. So it's always a good idea to get that Oprah report from your town. In fact, here's that video. You can check it out here. But at least that'll give you some perspective if they did the proper process to redo a kitchen, for instance. So when you walk into that house, just keep thinking, lipstick on a pig, lipstick on a pig, lipstick on a pig. Just go in with that keen sense of checking things out. All right, so that's a list of 5 things to look for when you're actually purchasing a house or looking at homes. There's all kinds of situations and scenarios to consider. But these are kind of the 5 common and things to just be aware of as you're walking through a house, or if you're looking at a home, be aware of these 5 specific things. Totally can help you when you're going through the process to purchase. So do you want to learn about some other hacks that you can consider when you're purchasing a house? Definitely check out this video over here. It's going to give you some good perspective and other tips to consider when you've actually purchased the house, or let's say you're under contract on the house. Use some of these tips in this video, will totally help you. So again, I want to thank you guys for watching. I'm Bob Dzienis with Coldwell Banker here in Northern New Jersey, and I will see you guys in the next video.